Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Hope you're having a good day, you're enjoying yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing, just enjoy it. Make sure that if it is going to be a day where you're not having it all your own way, just remember it's one day. The sun will come back up tomorrow. But we're in England, so it's probably clouds, so, you know. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the guys out on loan. We've got some really good performances from players like Sergio Reguilon, which is different, but I do want to talk about Sergio. We do have some struggling performances. We have some games that maybe went against some of the players. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. We're also going to be talking a little bit around an update on Albert Gudmondsson, the Genoa winger, attacker, striker, bit of a jack of all trades, as well as an interesting report around Antonio Nusa and Spurs' revival of interest, potentially. We shall see. But plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. Just want to say, though, if you are new, give us a subscribe. Very much welcome to join us for the journey. We are very close to 2,000 subs, by the way, which is pretty damn cool if you ask me. But let me start, and I'm going to start really with Sergio Reguilon himself. So, I talked about it. I think it was Saturday. I recorded a video on Calafiori, and I was talking about how Brentford had gotten a point at Villa, which obviously helps us for the top four race. And obviously, it was a shame they couldn't hold on for all 3 points. But I think if you ask any Spurs fan, and they said they were told, Villa are going to draw today. You happy about that? Oh yeah, I'm taking that every day of the week, and we all would. So they got the draw in the end, which is obviously fantastic news. And Sergio played a massive part in that. Now, yes, they did concede 3 goals, and as a defender, that's obviously not great. Not groundbreaking news, I'm telling you. But he did have 2 assists in the game. So he was very, very important for that sort of comeback from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. And you know what? It's his first game back since suspension. Obviously, he missed the dramatic comeback against Manchester United. Which, by the way, if you take a lead on Brentford, just don't think it's over and done with, you know what I mean? So yeah, really, really good performance from Sergio. Obviously, helps us in the summer when we are going to be looking to sell him, that we can cash in a bit of money on him. So a little bit of good news there. Just want to give you a quick little roundup of the guys that sort of didn't play or any situations they had. To give you an idea that Troy Parrott still hasn't played for Excelsior Rotterdam. He wasn't in the squad. Alejo Veliz and Sevilla didn't play, so, you know, you wouldn't have seen that. On Tanguy Ndombele for Galatasaray, he didn't start the game, but then he played 1 minute. This is bonkers, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go have a little look. Fenerbahce in protest, I believe it's about officiating and things like that. They've been protesting for a long time. They put all the under-18s out there. Icardi scored the goal for Galatasaray within a minute, and they hauled every player off. And the game was sort of suspended, hoping they can get him back out on the pitch. But I think the cup win was given to Galatasaray. Bonkers. The Turkish league is just one of the most crazy leagues in the world. You know, you never know what's going to happen. That's a worrying thing. It can be great in terms of performances, but it can be worrying with pitch invasions and, you know, hauling teams off, you know, as the game goes on. So a little bit on those guys with. Moving into Jed Spence. Jed Spence played only about sort of 12-15 minutes. He came on in the 78th minute for Stefano Sabelli. Great name. It's been a bit of a rough, I'd say, few weeks. You know, the fact he's been hauled off at half time a couple of times. He's been playing left wing back instead of playing his natural position at right wing back. I mean, he's not even starting in this game in a 2-1 win away to Hellas Verona. So, look, you've still got a bit of time now. We are April 9th. You've still got a bit of time that maybe, just maybe, he locks down a position and kicks on. Because, you know what, they may not even pick up his buy option, and Spurs haven't. Then the situation on hands is, do we keep him? Do we send him out on loan again? Do we get him sold? And all those things, I think a lot of people thought, you know, Spence could be great. A lot of the guys that are out on loan, obviously there's a reason as to why they're on loan, but then there's also a situation going, we have buy options in their deals because we don't want to have to deal with it in the summer. We just want them gone. And I think with Jed, it'll be one of those that they just hope Genoa pick him up. Maybe Genoa even look at it and go, look, he just needs a couple of years. He just needs a year to learn the language and things like that. And, you know, it's not outrageous that, you know, 8 million, they can afford that, you know. So we shall see. Talking Japhet Tanganga. Big loss. They've fallen sort of further into that relegation crazy battle in the Championship. 1-0 loss away to Huddersfield. I'm not going to lie, Mill didn't play well. It's just flat out, Mill didn't play well. It was an ugly game. It was an ugly game, and I think we do need to sort of take it with a pinch of salt that Mill aren't the greatest team. You know, they are a team that is struggling in the Championship. I'm just going to bring up the Championship table whilst I speak. And, you know, it's one of those leagues which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, good Lord, the top three are separated by 2 points, with Leicester with a game in hand. If you go down to the bottom three get relegated, 23rd and 22nd on 42 points, and 15th on 47. So you got to look at that many teams that can get relegated. It's ridiculous. And Millwall sitting in there on 44, so they're sitting in 20th position. You know, it's dicey times. 5 games left of that season. Everyone between 15th and 24th, if you include Rotherham, but they're already gone. They are all played 41 games. There's no added on games or anything like that. This is what you see, is what you get. So yeah, tough outing for Jaffet. Moving into Plymouth Argyle's Ashley Phillips, and just looking at where they are 19th in the Championship. So only a place above Millwall. Looking at their last game, was a 1-0 win away to bottom of the table Rotherham. It's one of those that they've been through some turmoil. Obviously, they sacked Ian Foster as manager. The director of football is now the manager of that team. And, you know, they're sitting right now plus 7 in terms of goal difference on Millwall. So they're in a dicey situation as well. And you know what? If it wasn't for Morgan Whittaker, maybe there'd be a situation where they would be down where Rotherham were. You know, I mean, Ashley Phillips, there's a grading here which you'll see. It says Ashley Phillips played sort of 7 out of 10. He said, such was Rotherham's lacklustre attacking play that Phillips and his defensive colleagues were not overstretched in dealing with any danger. Which, do you know what? You love those days as a defender. I used to play, when I played 6-a-side and I was a defender, and I didn't really have to do much, but sort of just get the ball, progress it, didn't have to do much defending. Those are the best days. I know defenders like defending, but if you can say you're going to have an easy day today, they're going to go, oh, absolutely. They're not going to go, oh, no, I don't want that. Give me tough. No. So, yeah, no, good result really for Plymouth, because you know what? If they can string a few games together, I mean, they've got QPR. They've got QPR tonight. They've got Leicester coming up after that. And QPR, they're sitting 2 places above. So this is a 6-point game, really, for Plymouth tonight. So we shall see on that one. Looking into the main man at Leeds, Joe Rodon. 2-1 loss away to Coventry City. Now, Coventry City obviously fighting for that playoff position. They're sitting in 7th at the moment. So they are 1 place out of their playoff positions. 4 points behind with a game in hand on 6th. So massive win for Coventry City. I mean, they sort of put out some gradings and things like that. And Joe and Ethan Ampadu and Somerville were the main 3 guys that showed any real quality, but they struggled. And they did say that Joe was actually partially at fault for the 2nd goal. So, look, you can't be perfect. That's the way this game is. But he's having a great season regardless. If he finishes it off, I mean, right now they're sitting in 3rd, so they're actually in the playoff position. So they would play 6th, where 4th and 5th play each other. You know, they are 1 point behind Ipswich, who are in 2nd, obviously 2 behind Leicester, with obviously Leicester having a game in hand. So look, it's interesting up the top. You know, if Leicester win that again, you might see a situation where, okay, well now, instead of Leeds being 2 points behind Leicester, now 5 points behind, you know, and Ipswich Town being 4 points behind. Looking at goal difference, Leeds have got that on Ipswich Town. So they are 11 clear on goal difference, which is huge. That is like having an extra point in a way. You know, if Ipswich lose their next game, Leeds draw their next game, Leeds go into 2nd. That's what I mean. It's like having an extra point, you know. So yeah, really interesting for Leeds coming up. Looking at, let's have a look at Doncaster. Matthew Craig. He played the 90 minutes away to Morecambe in I believe it was 3-0 loss. I don't have it on my screen, annoyingly. Having a good loan spell, he is. I think Doncaster quite like him. It'll be a situation where, does he now go up a league, or does he go to a different club in the same league out on loan? We'll have to wait and see on Matthew a little bit. Barnet, 2-2 away draw. Joshua Keeley, did play in that game. It was a 95th minute equaliser by Barnet. sitting second in the conference. I believe, obviously, in the conference, first goes up, and then second, third, fourth, and fifth are all in a playoff situation. So, and I think they're quite far behind Chesterfield, so it looks like it'll be a playoff situation for Barnet coming up for that season. Talking a little bit about God, who am I talking about now? I'm being a bloody wally. We'll talk about Lucas Burval. And he did go into extra time. I don't have the stats for extra time, but he did create the third goal to take the lead extra time. He did play the full 90 minutes of time. He won the most duels. He completed the most dribbles of the match, drew the most fouls, provided the assist. Look, he obviously he's too good for that league. We know he is. I'm really excited for him to coming into this club. I think it's going to be a great thing. There was talk that basically Barcelona put a smear campaign out on his name that, Barcelona, because Barcelona were angry, they were arrogant they were going to get him. He chose us in the end. They were angry and they got a safe face by, just sort of dirtying his name. So if they ever do want to buy him in the future, you're going to have to mend those bloody fences, lads. So all in all, a solid week. A lot of guys didn't play, so a bit of a quicker loan roundup than maybe it normally is. Just want to quickly talk on Albert Gudmondsson, and it said that from Ekram Canor that West Ham continue to be linked with Albert Gudmondsson. AC Milan and Inter Milan are interested in the 26-year-old. Obviously, Spurs are interested. We know Spurs are interested. By gauging, sort of the comments that I get from you guys, by gauging sort of what I see online, that he's not the sexy choice, right? There's some fans that do quite like him and say, look, he's very good, X, Y, Z. I think there's a few of us that sort of go, he's not for us. I could so see him at West Ham. It just screams a West Ham deal. It screams AC Milan, to be fair, And I think he'd do well at, AC Milan. Obviously, they're moving off of Giroud in the summer. He's going off to LAFC in the MLS. So, there's that. Let me finish off with a bit of Antonio Nusa. So, Came Team Talker said that Tottenham target Nusa opens door to a summer transfer. Nonetheless, the player has refused to rule out a possible move to the Premier League this summer after coming clean on the factors behind the breakdown of his move to Brentford. He said that, first and foremost, I had always intended to stay here until the summer. That also makes it easier today. Suddenly, a lot started to move. I spoke a few times with Brentford, including the coach, and was very excited. In the end, it didn't happen. It's things you can't control. That's what it was all about. All I can say is I'm 100% fit and never had any problems with that knee. In the end, it also became clear there was no problem. So look, a guy who supposedly failed his medical, I believe it was a knee issue as well as a back issue. Look, I'm going to take him for his word and say, look, there is no knee issue. No, look, if Spurs would go back in here, we do our own medical. So I think there's no point trying to guess the situation. We would do our own medical. We'd find out the situation ourselves. I'm not too worried about his comments personally. I mean, you may be, but I'm personally not. I think let's see how this goes and let's see how this develops. But I think we need to be aware of all situations like this, because Brentford have spotted something. They're not, unless they were desperate to get out of the deal, which I doubt they would have been. They spotted something which maybe we don't know about. Maybe clubs do know about because of the medical. I don't know, but we shall see. But guys, then the video. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comments section your thoughts and feelings about Nusa and Gudmondsson, as well as the lads out on loan. Happy to have that conversation. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But guys, then the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.